Let's Resin have kindly sent me out their magic pour kit to try out. It's a non-toxic, odourless, fast curing casting powder. So let's have a look in the box and see what we've got. So I've got a bit of a confession to make first of all. I did open the box earlier to have a little sneak peek, and there was a very lovely detailed set of instructions on the top, and I was holding them out and my husky got hold of them and ran into the garden with them, so they're now in 1,000 pieces out in the garden. But I can assure you, when you get your sets, you will get a lovely set of instructions with yours. Let's Resin are really good with their instruction leaflets. They're very detailed, so no worries there. So let's have a look and see what's in here minus the instructions. So we have a couple of mixing pots. Perfect, they're handy. And we've got 3 moulds. That's brilliant to get 3 moulds in a kit. So we have a little tea light holder mould. That's lovely. Lovely classic design, that. Nice and simple and elegant. Love that. Then we have a little coaster mould. I like this because it's got a rim on it. I don't think I've got a coaster mould that's got a little rim around it. So that's nice. Be interesting to try that. And then we've got the lovely classic trinket tray mould. So again, perfect for starting out. So what else have we got in here? Obviously we've got a lovely tub of the magic pour. The powder is mixed by 3:1 by weight. So for example, 300 grams of the powder to 100 grams of the water, and this is 1 kilogram, so that's a good decent size of the magic pour that you get in the kit. What else we got? Oh, stirring stick. Perfect, love that. And we've got some sanding paper. Let's have a look. Are they all the same or are they different grades? Well, we've got 320, 320, 1,000, 1,000 and 2,000. So 2 of each and 3 different grades of sandpaper. So perfect. Right, what else have we got? In our little box we have some acrylic paints. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 colours there. Lovely set of colours. Like that. And you can use the acrylic paint to colour your magic pour. So, perfect. So, I think we ought to get started and make something. I'm going to be using the trinket tray and the tea lighter holder mould out of the kit today. And I've got these lovely little mosaic tiles, so I thought I'd use those. And I'm just going to place those upside down in the mould. I don't want to be too close to the edge, so I'm just going to randomly place these around the mould here. Hopefully I can fit them in nicely. That goes okay there. So while I'm just finding places to put these, the lovely Tracey from Mini Scenes GB, she's also received one of these lovely kits from Let's Resin. So this is a little mini collab with me and her. So after my video, she'll have a video out at 9 o'clock, I think. So please check hers out as well. I'll link her video in my description box for you. So I'm just going to keep randomly placing these little mosaic tiles. And while I do this, I'll also say thank you ever so much to all my subscribers. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you ever so much for your support. It means the world. So I'll just pop you on a little fast forward, I think, while I do this. And then we'll be back to do the next bit. I've laid out all the tiles how I want them, so that's all ready. And I've measured out 300 grams of the magic pour and 100 grams of water. And I'm going to add to that some of the phthalo blue acrylic paint. And this powder is lovely and eco-friendly, so no gloves needed, which is lovely. And I'm just going to squeeze some of this paint into the water and then give that a good mix. So it does say, or it did say in the instructions, not to add the paint directly to the powder in its dry form, because that will just clog up the powder and make it lumpy. So you either want to add the paint to the water or to the mixture once the water's been added to it, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to get this nicely stirred in. Right, I think that would do. There's a few little splodges in there, but I'm sure that'll be fine. And now I'm just going to slowly add the powder to the water and mix that in. And just mix that in well with the lovely stirring stick that came with the kit. Scraping all around the sides, making sure I get that mixed in well. Looking nice. That blue's looking lovely. I think I'm happy with that colour. I think I might just add, no I won't, I think that's all right actually. I was going to add a little bit more water, but that's looking good. Right, so now I'm just going to slowly pour this in over all these little tiles, getting that down in between all those little gaps around the edge. Just letting it find its own way really. And some of this mixture will probably go underneath, but that's okay because we can sand it down with the sandpaper from the kit afterwards. Right, so just going to give that a gentle little tap, and then I'm just going to go around the outside with a little stick. Make sure I've not got any bubbles trapped around there. Another little tap, and then just going to scoot that over to one side a bit, and then use the rest of my mixture in the tea light holder mould. Loving that blue, it's a lovely pastel blue. Right, again, little tap with that. Lovely. So we're just going to leave this to cure now, and then I'll see you for demold. These are both cured up now, so let's pop these out and see how they're looking. Don't forget to put your moulds back in the right way. Oh, that's nice. I like that. I love that blue. Lovely. So that's our little tea light holder. And let's pop this one out. Now I do imagine that some of that magic pour has gone underneath, which it has. So I'm just going to take a little scribe and scratch away at some of this over pour, or under pour as it is, and reveal some of that, and then we can get some sandpaper on it once I've got the majority of it off. So I'll just give all these a clean, and then I'll come back to you for the next bit with the sandpaper. So now I've got off most of the underpour with the scribe, I'm going to go in with the sandpaper that comes with the kit, and this is a waterproof sandpaper, wet and dry, which is good. So I'm just going to pour a little bit of water on the top there, and then give this a good sand. And using the wet and dry sandpaper, it does also help to keep down the dust, which is good. So I'm just going to go all over this and sand this down. So it's a bit noisy, so I'll do this and then I'll come back to you. This is all sanded down now, so pleased with how that's looking, but I do want to give this a top coat of some resin in a little while. And I also want to make this into a little set to go on my dining room table, so I'd rather like a set of napkin rings to go with it, but I don't have a napkin ring mould, so this little tea light holder that came in the set with Let's Resin will be perfect. So I'm not going to measure out the magic pour because it's only going to be a tiny amount. So I've got a little bit of water in there, and I'm just going to add to that some of the magic pour. You do get used to the consistency that should be right for them, so I do know how it should feel. So I'm just going to get that mixed in. I think that needs just a tiny bit more powder. There we go, that should be enough. And this magic pour mixes in so nicely. I'm really impressed with how well this mixes in. No lumps or clumps or anything. Lovely. Right, so I'm just going to squeeze that and pour it just around the outside of this tea light holder mould until it reaches the top, and just before it overflows I'll stop. So about there. So it looks like it's got a little bit of a dome on it. So I'm just going to give that a gentle tap and then leave that to cure, and I'll see you for demold. This is all cured now, so we're just going to pop this one out of its mould, pop that back in the right way. So there's our little ring. So this side's nice and smooth, but because I only poured up to so far in the mould, the inside's nice and smooth, but the outside's rough. So I'm just going to smooth off those outside edges with a sanding block. So I'm just going to get those done. That's better. Lovely. Right, so I've got one, and there's 3 others that I made previously. So they're all sanded and ready to go. So next thing, I've got these little leftover mosaic tiles that I had from that, and I'm going to use the Let's Resin chrome marker in silver, and I'm just going to go around the edges of these, so all the way around there, down there, across the bottom and that bit there. And because I want to stick these on there, that top bit is going to show. So I'm just going to use the silver pen and just cover up some of that top bit. So that's done there. Right, okay, and the others I've already done because you didn't need to see me doing that 4 times. So I'm just going to let that dry out and we'll put those to one side for a minute. So while that's drying out, we'll give this a top layer of resin. I'm using the Let's Resin epoxy resin, 1:1, lovely resin to use, and I don't need a lot, so I'm just going to use the little measuring cup that came in with the kit, and to keep it simple I'm going to do 30 ml of part A and 30 ml, oh, if I can get the lid off, 30 ml of part B. That's that. And I'm just going to give this a good mix for around 2 to 3 minutes and then I'll be back. This is all mixed in thoroughly now, so I'm just going to put a thin layer over the top of this mould, or this piece rather, and just swish that around so that covers all those tiles. Get that down to the bottom. I thought I might need a little bit more, but I think it'll be okay. Just work that all the way around. That's lovely. I think I've got a little hair there, so I'm just going to get that out. And I'm just going to use my little cigarette lighter. Pop any bubbles that might be there. Can't see any, but right, so we're just going to pop that to one side now to cure, and then we can finish off the napkin rings. Oh, I'll just find something to put that in first. These are all dry now, so they can be stuck onto the rings, and I'm going to use the Mitre Bond and activator spray to attach these to start with. So I'm just going to put some of the glue onto the back of the tile and then give the ring a squirt with the activator spray, and then hold that down onto there for a few seconds. Give that little squirt down the sides with the activator. Hold that in place. And because you've got gaps down the edges there, because you're attaching something flat onto something round, I'm then going to use Let's Resin UV bonding resin, and I'm just going to place some of that down into that little groove down there. Wipe away any excess and then cure that. It only takes about 10 seconds with this UV bonding resin. Really quick and easy, and you get this little UV torch with it as well. It's brilliant. So again, same on the other side. Get that little hair off, and then some down there, and that will seep down into that little gap there. Again, just tidy that edge off and then cure that. Nice and quick and easy, this bonding UV. So that's all done now. Let's just pop the lid back onto that. Right, so that's that one done, and I've done all the other 3 as well, because you didn't need to see me doing that 4 times. So we just need to wait for our top coat of resin to cure on that, and then I can finish it off. The tray's all cured now, so that's looking lovely, and I've just gone round the outside with the silver Let's Resin pen, and I also went round the tea light holder with the silver pen as well, so then that ties in with the silver on the napkin rings. So I'm just going to place those onto there so they can stand up in there. So I've thoroughly enjoyed using this magic pour kit from Let's Resin. It's absolutely lovely. And don't forget to check out Tracey's video. She'll be up at 9 o'clock, I think 9 o'clock, and her video will be linked in my description box, along with the affiliate link with the discount code if you'd like to get yourself some of the magic pour. And Let's Resin do other lovely kits as well. There's an epoxy resin kit, so do check those out as well. So thank you ever so much for watching my video today, and stay tuned for the pictures at the end, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye for now.